All right, so today we're going to learn how to make a pinch pot. Probably the most basic sort of project we're going to start with the year. And at any rate, we've got a whole bunch of skills we're going to learn and a bunch of sundry sort of details that go with our ceramics practice. So today, what we're going to create is a pinch pot. We're going to learn how to do one at least. We're going to learn some skills like clay preparation. We're going to learn about the 3 states of clay, they being plastic, leather hard, and bone dry. We'll get into that later. Clay preparation is important. You want to be able to make sure your clay is in the ultimate state to move it around and get the form you want. So we will learn about wedging, which is the preparation of the clay, homogenizing the clay, making it uniform in texture, and removing the air from it. And we'll learn how to ball it, meaning put it in a ball. And that's a good skill because we'll need it for this project. And later on when we go to the wheel, you'll need to learn how to ball your clay too. We're going to learn the basic forming and sculpting techniques where you'll use your digits, your thumb and fingers, to sculpt the general form of the pot. This will be a skill that you will carry through into all the ceramics projects you're going to do through the year. We're going to learn about appropriate wall thickness, which is about 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch. And why that's important is that we want even drying. We want to prevent sort of locked in moisture in places where you're going to get cracking or dunting as the project dries. Okay. We're going to learn how to incise, which is where we're going to learn how to carve into the clay body with tools. And we're going to learn the appropriate thickness, the depth and width with which to do it, and how to remove what are called the boogers and the sharps so that we don't have sharp edges or sort of hanging on little things that will affect the tactility of the piece. We're going to talk about options in incising, whether you create a pattern or you add text or you carve images into your piece. We're going to learn about what's called moisture management. And moisture management is about how to maintain the desired moisture level in your pot as you're working with it day to day. For example, a project like this, you could probably pinch it in one day, but you might want to wait until it's in the leather hard state later on to do your incising. So you're going to want to do one of 2 things. You're either going to want to tint your piece, which would be where you would enable the piece to lose moisture slowly in a uniform manner by dropping a plastic bag over the top and letting air get in and around it, maybe even a little air coming up underneath. Or creating an airtight bag where you will actually wrap the piece up really tight. That would preserve the plasticity of the clay, preserve the moisture level. So moisture management is complex, but we'll introduce that here so that you get a sense of like how to take care of your project in between class periods. The last thing we'll learn about is glazing, which is the decoration component at the end. We're going to do 2 firings. First being a bisque firing, where you're going to fire the pot to enable it to kind of come to this first semi-permanent state. We're not going to vitrify the pot. We're going to bring it to probably a level where it's hard but it's still porous. But the beauty of that is that it's going to enable us to put glaze on it, and then ultimately we'll fire it a second time, doing the glaze or the gloss firing, so that we can set the glazes and bring them to their glassy state. Glazing, we'll learn a technique called wipe away, which enables you to put a color into the incisions and then remove it with a moist sponge. And then how to use the brush to apply glaze around and in the interior. Okay? So broad overview of what we're going to do with a pinch pot. We'll have a lot of fun, and I'll demo some of these skills for you coming up.